have number one, Larry Matthews. Come on up, Larry.
Madam President, to your executive committee, to the ladies of the Houston County Republican Wing, gentlemen, visitors, and guests. Today I come to you to ask for your support and your vote in this upcoming election. I'm here because I've served before and policies that we put in place. Of course, when I was in before, we had the 1 cent sales tax. Of course, that has created where we could replace vehicles for the police department, new fire trucks, $150,000 to help pave streets in every district, and sidewalks to schools. Those are some of the things that was put in place during the administration of Mayor Pat Thomas. First of all, let me also thank my family. Let me talk about them. My wife is Eva Matthews, and I have 3 children. My daughter, Michelle, Eric, and Thomas, my two sons. In the community, in areas where I served in this community, I served as past president of Hawk Houston Boys and Girls Club. I'm on the JCC, which is a juvenile conference committee, which help first-time offenders as far as our youth. Teenagers, some of the kids are 9 years old, and it's to keep them out of trouble and not to have a juvenile record. Another things that I'm a part of is Hawk Houston Boys and Girls Club, which I'm past president of. The Wiregrass Lions Club, which look to help kids with sight as far as if they're having problems. We also look at them the kids normally having problems with sight. It's about diabetes and other things that cause that. The Dothan Rotary Club, which is also looking to eradicate polio. I've also served on the city council, and during those times, of course, we were out in the community doing so many things, trying to communicate with the constituents. When I was in, we held quarterly meetings, which we held meetings at Von Bloomberg, Northview, Walton Park, Fain Elementary, and here at the Wiregrass Rehab, trying to touch those people because the district is the largest area-wise, and trying to have those quarterly meetings is one way in which we could stay in touch with everyone. Every day I go out, I've been going out every day since the 1st of March. The 1st of May, to knock on doors 3 hours every day, asking the people who they want as a commissioner, talking to them about things that we can do to improve our community. And today, I'm looking to help and move forward with this district. Like I said, I go out every day, 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. I'm here to represent District 1 in a positive way, job creation, and to do whatever is needed to communicate with the people in District 1. Of course, we have to work with all districts, and the people that we represent is this whole community. It's more than just District 1, but this whole community of Dothan. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Larry. Who had number 2? Come on up, Kevin.
First, I'd just like to say thank you to all these lovely ladies. Could we please give them one round of applause, please? It was a great song that was sung at the introduction by Lee Greenwood. I remember hearing that song back in 1984 at the National Republic Convention. When he sung it for Ronald Reagan, the late Ronald Reagan, President Ronald Reagan, and his wife, Nancy Reagan. That's a great song. Also, talking about people who deserve respect, it's is my grandfather, the late Floyd Ward, my grandfather who I respected so much, and I miss him dearly. And today I'm reminded of a story he told me of as a little boy. He said there was a wealthy doctor traveling deep in a rural area. He was attempting to make an outpatient visit when suddenly he came to a crossroads. Out the woods came a barefooted, runny-nosed little boy with a slingshot. And the doctor said, "Excuse me, young man, could you please tell me I can find my way to the nearest city?" The little boy said, "No, sir." He said, "Well, could you please tell me I can find my way to the nearest town?" The little boy said, "No, sir." So the doctor agitated. He said, "Well, could you please tell me I can find my way to the nearest village then?" The little boy said, "No, sir." He said, "You dumb little boy, you don't know anything." So the doctor got ready to walk back to his car. The little boy walked up behind the doctor. The doctor looked down at the little boy. Little boy looked up at the doctor, eyes big and golf ball. He said, "I may be a little boy, but I'm not lost." I am not lost to the issues of strengthening and listening to our concerns of our community. I'm not here for fun. It's not a joke. It's real. I live in the core of the district. I live at 205 Doris Lane, right off of Helen Avenue. I walk out my front door, I see the concerns. I see the problems plaguing our community, the drugs. I see everything around our community in District 1. I understand that the city as a whole is good, but in my district we have high drug areas and alcoholism and a lot of people with substance abuse problems. I welcome any of you to come over where I live at 205 Doris Lane. Also, the problem with family and community, and also the aesthetic quality of our community. When they talk about the overgrown grass and whatnot, that's mostly in my community. I see it every day. The only reason I am standing up here today is because somebody somewhere stood up when it was risky, hard, and it wasn't popular. And because that somebody stood up, a few more stood up. Then a few thousand stood up. Then a few million stood up. And standing up with courage and integrity and a clear purpose, they somehow managed to change not only their city and their district, but the world. That's why I'm running. This is what Martin Luther King was talking about when he wrote in his sermon, the fierce urgency of now. And my moment is right now. I would like to end with the closing words on this great day of June 27 of a young lady that you're all familiar with by the name of Helen Keller, who was left blind at 19 months until death. I would not just live my life. I would not just spend my life. I will invest my life in the city of Dothan. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, thank you, Kevin. And here is James Redding.
Good morning, folks. Good morning. Val and I used to work together before she became, and when work was work. Let me just say this. I deem this an honor to be invited over to speak to you all. Before I go any farther, one of our candidates, he's taking credit for something that he voted against, and that's the 1-cent sales tax. But needless to say, just let me say this. I've enjoyed this ride. We have a good team in place. The city of Dothan, we have a AA+ bond rating, which is good. I'm very appreciative of our mayor. We have attracted commercial jet. And just let me say this to you. Our mayor is for real. Without him and Hayne Hollis, commercial jet would not be in Dothan. And what I appreciate about our current mayor, he keeps everybody on the same level. We get the same data at the same time. But without that support and without the complete support of the entire commission, commercial jet would not be in Dothan, because he explained it to us. Unless he has the support of the entire commission, it was not going to happen. Secondly, we have gotten the orthopedic college out here. And you say, well, how does the commission get involved in that? We had committed a lot of y'all's money to the infrastructure on this college. Come to find out, I call it divine intervention. The College of Accreditation, they really didn't need the money. The medical center had $34 million out in the bank. But anyway, we've gotten the orthopedic college. Secondly, probably you don't know, we have Keystone Fire Hose Company here. They are one of the world's largest makers of fire hoses. In fact, they are recognized as the best, and we ship those hoses worldwide. Thirdly, Panhandle Converters. Panhandle Converters, they have located there on Murray Road, which is in District 1. And what they do, they extract the precious metals from catalytic converters, and they ship those worldwide. Those are the industries that we have attracted. And Hamp, let me piggyback on what Hamp said earlier. The city comes first. If it's not good for the city of Dothan, don't even talk to me. And if you've got one of my cards, just a few of the accomplishments. This is not fantasy land or anything. We have installed sidewalks around Walton Park. We have completed the sidewalks around Fane Elementary School. We have gotten the design funds for a pool coming back to Andrew Bell. And by the way, that pool never should have been closed. That is the only pool, that is the only rec center in the city of Dothan that does not have a swimming pool. It never should have been closed. The city of Dothan decided that we should have had that pool. Secondly, we have, I'll wrap it up. We've paved 42 streets. The drainage project there on Helen Avenue has been completed. And I'm just going to take this extra time, sir. This is the second time. The people in this room, you all have the authority, you're very powerful. But just let me just read this. This is the second time I have read from this book. This is from the book of Matthew, chapter 25. And it's when God was dealing with his disciples. And he said, when I was incarcerated, did you visit me? When I didn't have a friend, were you friends with me? And I said that to say this. God finally said, as you have done it unto the least of mine, you have done it unto me. A lot of people stop there. And if you don't, comes that day, he's going to say, depart from me, I know ye not, and cast you into a lake of fire. You all have the money, you have the resources to help the poor people will always be among us. And that's what I take pride in. There's no saying you never send lunch to school by a hungry child. He's going to eat it. Thank you.
Thank you, James Redding. Thank you, 4 candidates from District 1. One thing I failed to do is I wanted to thank WRC for the decorations that they did today, and thanks to the media for being here today. District 2 is the next place. Amos Newsom. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought James Redding took your time. I'm sorry.
Well, he did. So let me have mine.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Davis.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here, and I thank the Houston County Republican women for having me. I'd like to start with a story as well. There were 4 men. There was a captain, elder statesman, public servant, and apprentice who decided to take a boat trip. They got on a boat, went in the ocean, got in the middle of the ocean, and the boat wrecked. The only person left on the boat was the apprentice. And he could only save one person. So between the elder statesman, captain, and the public servant, he decided he would save the public servant. He saved the public servant because the public servant was drowning. His voice was giving out, and he was out of energy, out of strength. Got back to the shore, headed back to the shore, and pleasantly they found the elder statesman and the captain. Well, when the apprentice asked, "How did you guys get here?" They said, "The public servant kept us encouraged. He said, don't let it get you. Don't let it get you." The point being, if you pick the right person, you can save more than one. I'm here because I feel it's time for a change. It's time for change. It's one thing about a public servant. They're resourceful, they're resilient, and they're reliable. They can use the resources of limited or few and expand them. I'm that person. They are the people that you can depend on, you can contact, you can reach, and they will give you what you need. The other thing is they're resilient. Public servant doesn't give up, no matter how bad the circumstances look, no matter what's going on. They're going to continue to fight for you. I'm that person. My platform is built around three things. It is educating, empowering, and connecting. That is taking the best that we have, expanding it, utilizing it, connecting the different parts of our community to enrich the lives of all of us. I'm Darrell Davis, and I hope that you vote for me on August 6th. Thank you.
Thank you, Darrell, and I'm sorry for almost skipping over.